everybody, it's 150Gallade's here, and I'm bringing you my top 15 favorite Pokemon because I just got some editing skills. I'm sorry I can't do this and the channel intro, but I think this is better than the channel intro. And anyway, I'm going to tell you my top 15 favorite Pokemon. Anyway, let's start. Number 15, Chandelure. Part of what I love about it is that purple fire. I also remember when I was playing Pokemon Black for the first time, when I saw a Litwick in the Celestial Tower, I'm like, oh boy, that's so cool. I want that. I was too noobish to know how to use the PC or how to release Pokemon, so I thought I couldn't catch any Pokemon. But I really wanted it because I thought it was so cool. And then later I found out how to use the PC and how to catch and release. And, well, I knew how to catch, but, like, how to release. For a while I didn't know how to use a PC, but I knew how to release. So I eventually, for a while I was actually releasing some of my Pokemon in exchange for getting other Pokemon that I liked more, but then I found out about the PC and I didn't have to release my Pokemon as much. Anyway, and then I finally got this thing, and I trained it to be a Chandelure. Sadly, I never entered the Hall of Fame, but it was really good for me. So yeah, nostalgia and a cool design. Number 14, Mewtwo. I remember how in Gen 1, okay, well, I'm not going to start there. As you'll find out from this list, I really like Psychic types, and Mewtwo is the most powerful Psychic type, or the most powerful Pokemon for that matter. Anyway, and in Gen 1, they always ranted about how it was the strongest Pokemon, but in Gen 2, Ho and Lugia tied it, and then in Gen 3, Rayquaza did the same. In Generation 4, Arceus beat it, and Black and White 2, then Kyurem beat it, so it was only the third strongest Pokemon, and it was in a tie. But then 6th generation gave it 2 Mega Evolutions, and by the picture, I think you can guess which one's my favorite, and it became the strongest Pokemon again. I also love how his Mega Evolution floats. It's just so cool. Anyway, number 13, Haunter. Those floating arms! Number 12, Kedavra. I remember when I was watching the anime when I first got into Pokemon, and one of the episodes I saw first was that episode where Ash battled Sabrina and her Kedavra, and I just thought that episode was so cool. Not scary, cool. I loved it. It was so awesome. And yeah, it was just, yeah, and its design is cool. It's mainly the nostalgia of watching that episode. So let's move on. Number 11, Lucario. Something about his design is just cool. I don't really like his Mega. I mean, well, I like it, but normal Lucario, I think, is better design-wise. And none of these favorite Pokemon are going to be because of how they perform in battle, FYI. And yeah, it's just pretty cool design-wise. Number 10, Sallaman. This goes back to nostalgia. The first episode of the anime I ever watched was that episode where Bagon wants to fly, and at the end he gets a little bit closer by evolving into Shelgon. And once in the episode they said like he'd fly when he was a Salamence, and they showed a picture of a Salamence. And I thought that thing was so cool, and I didn't know many of the Pokemon that existed, and that thing suddenly became my favorite Pokemon because I barely knew any Pokemon. And yeah, a former favorite from when I was a noob belongs on this list. So yeah, like Chandelure and Kedavra, it's because of nostalgia. Number 9, Alakazam. Okay, originally I was going to place Alakazam under Salamence and Lucario because I remember when I first looked up Kedavra on Bulbapedia, I was like, what? This thing can evolve? This thing's like so powerful, because I thought it was powerful from that one episode, and it can evolve into something even more powerful. I was just mind blown. And then Alakazam, I'm like, whoa, it holds 2 spoons? That's like so cool. But of course, so there's nostalgia. But originally Lucario was going to be higher on this list, and Salamence. But then 6th gen came with Mega Evolution, and now it floats and like its spoons float. It's just so cool. So yeah, nostalgia and a cool Mega Evolution. Number 8. Espeon, Umbreon, and Glaceon. Yep, it's a tie. I love the evolutions, and these 3 happen to be my favorite. Yeah, not much to be said. Number 7, Luxray. More nostalgia coming. I remember when I played Pokemon Platinum for the first time, I caught a Shinx, and I overleveled it a lot. A lot of my team members I couldn't use anymore. I almost had to stop using my starter because I overleveled this thing. Like, it was level 40 right before Wake. And, yeah, it was... Actually, that's not that, high level. But still, it was... My other members, like, 20, while it was, like, 40. And because of that, it was my favorite Pokemon at the time. I did know about Glade, who... it's not even saying that he's higher on this list isn't even spoiling anything. If you're a real fan of my channel, you know that Glade's gonna be on this list and pretty high. So I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying Glade's on this list later. I knew about Glade, but at the time I liked Luxray better because he was one of my best Pokemon and I just loved him. So yeah, like many other Pokemon on this list, nostalgia. Okay, number 6, we're entering my team. Like, well, if this was a team, it wouldn't be that good because it would be fire heavy. So yeah, you're gonna see a lot of fire types, but this is not one of them. He's weak to fire. Scizor. Oh boy, like I'm not showing regular Scizor because I don't like its Mega. It's just that like his Mega I think is just as good as Scizor, and his Mega didn't put him any higher, any lower. And, yeah, something about his design, like, that slick lookingness, I don't know. It's cool, his design. Number 5, Kabutops. Like, his design, like, I like him for the same reason I like Scizor. Like, his design looks so cool. Oh, it's just, yeah. I don't really know how to explain their designs. It's one of those Pokemon that you like, but you can't explain why you like it. Number 4, Reshiram. More nostalgia coming your way. Okay, I first got into Pokemon by the trading card game. And I also first got into Pokemon when Black and White was just released. And when I saw Reshiram's card, I'm like, whoa, he has an attack called Blue Flare? That's so cool. And as you know, from my top 15 shiny Pokemon, I really like Blue Fire. And that is why. So that's why I bought Pokemon Black, not Pokemon White. And I liked his Blue Flare attack. And then I remember when I caught him in Pokemon Black, I loved using him. I didn't know that using legendaries was cheap because I was a noob. But I loved it. It wasn't very over-leveled, but it was pretty overpowered. I was pretty sad that when I found out that he learns Blue Flare at level 100, and I never trained her to level 100, so I never got to use the move Blue Flare. Yeah, I was pretty sad about that, but I really liked him because he looked cool, and he had a cool attack, and it was so powerful. Number 3, Blaziken. Oh boy, this thing was like really close. I know you can't see me and my hands, but like I'm making like about like less than a centimeter space between my 2 fingers. It was like that close to beating Glade, and also that close to my channel being 150 Blaziken. Yeah, I don't know, something about his design. I added him to this list before he got his Mega, so let's focus on this, like his not Mega. Let's put aside his Mega for a second, even though you can actually, yeah, let's put aside his Mega for a sec, and focus on the normal Blaziken. I remember when I first, chose my Torchic in Pokemon Heart Gold, I trained him and I, like, really liked him. and he was pretty powerful. I loved training him, and overall, he was just fun to use. I loved his design. Once I got him to be level 50, he battled so hard, and it was like so awesome. And then 6th Gen came with his Mega Evolution, and I was just like, I love that thing. I love that thing. I mainly love that thing because I love Blaziken, and it's just so cool. And its design kind of is similar to Glade's, I guess. But number 2, Glade. You all thought this thing was going to be number 1. Well, some of you thought it was going to be number 2. Some of you thought it would be number 1. Now that you know Glade is number 2, it's pretty obvious who number 1 is. I'm not going to spoil it. I don't know why, because everyone knows it's going to be number 1. But I'm going to explain to you why Glade is my second favorite Pokemon of all time. I remember when I first got into the trading card game, I really liked Glade's card, but that's not much. I remember when I battled Lucian, I for some reason liked Lucian more than Sabrina. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Lucian's an Elite 4, Sabrina's a gym leader, maybe because Lucian's a boy, Sabrina's a girl, and Lucian's like more similar to me. I don't know, but I like Lucian more, and his ace was Glade, so I started liking Glade, and yeah, I really do like it. And yeah, it's cool. And now that I explained why I like Glade, let's move on to number 1, Mega Charizard X. Oh boy, you all saw this coming. If you didn't, then you didn't even pay attention to who was making this video. Anyway, Mega Charizard X has blue fire. He looks like a shiny Charizard. I know he was on my top 15 favorite shinies list, but originally he was number 1, but then this, I was like, who needs shiny Charizard when you have Mega Charizard X? He has blue fire, which, when I explained with Reshiram, I really like. And he looks like a shiny Charizard. That is awesome. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching my top 15 favorite Pokemon. Feel free to tell me your favorite Pokemon in the comments. Anyway, this is 150Gallade signing out. Stay awesome and goodbye.